Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas. Welcome to Vision of Asia, Voice of Community. On ITV Gold, we greet you this Sunday and extend our greetings to Hindu devotees who observed Shivratri on 11th March. On 8th March, we observed Women's Day, that is International Women's Day. We have some stories related to International Women's Day in today's edition. We'll begin with celebration of this important day at Brooklyn Borough Hall by FIA and Consulate General of India's office. We'll take you to a conversation with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh about post-COVID USA and Indian politics. We'll also have another segment from virtual interaction session of Gopio, that is India's outreach to diaspora and youth perspective. A conversation with author Avinash Kalla about his book America 2020, Ek Mata Hua Desh. MOU was signed between Tricon Electric Vehicles and Bharat Electronics at the Indian Consulate. A report on that event, as well as we'll conclude with another International Women's Day event observed by Consul General's office in collaboration with GAVS. So all this coming up right after these short messages. Stay with us. The presence of women is very, very important, not just at home, not just as a flow of cultural values, not just to beautify the world, not just to teach the children to become good human beings, but as we move in this era, the presence of women is important for the economic growth of nations also. International Day of Women was observed at several places, acknowledging, recognizing the contribution of women. And one event which was organized by Consul General of India's office in collaboration with FIA took place at a wonderful venue in New York, Brooklyn Borough Hall. Here is a report from that event.
Namaste. Today is 8th of March, International Women's Day. On this very special occasion, I convey my warmest wishes to one and all, especially our women folk. May you ever progress, may you ever prosper. Thank you.
The International Women's Day has additional speciality, as you all know, when a migrant mother who came without anything but dream, and who thick and thin raised two daughters in the melting pot we all live. And one of those recent, most famous milestone achievement we all celebrated, which was one of our own taking the oath as the first female vice president, the highest ranking female official in the US history, the first generation Indian American, along with being the first African American and the first Asian African vice president. Indeed, a very proud and applauded moment for all of us. A very big round of applause for Madam Vice President Kamala Devi Harris. Accomplishments of the women today from all walks of life and women of all colors have spanned major barricades, but we must continue. A lot to achieve. There is work to be done. So please continue your effort.
Good afternoon. Thank you to Parikh Worldwide Media and ITV Gold for covering the International Women's Day. We're gathered here to recognize and honor some of the most distinguished and outstanding females who have made a difference in the fight against the pandemic, as well as their respective careers in academics. So congratulations to all the awardees and honorees of 2021, those who can make it and those who couldn't make it. And I want to thank Padma Shri Sudhir Parekh and the viewers of ITV Gold for joining us in covering the event. I want to thank NYPD, Parks Department, the Brooklyn Borough President's Office for allowing us to use the venue to do the ceremony today. So thank you. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless India.
Hello, good evening. I'm Dr. Uma Madhusudana. I'm a hospitalist working for Hartford Healthcare, and I have been a frontline worker working in this pandemic throughout. And I'm really honored to be here, to be one of the recipient. And I truly feel that I'm representing all the healthcare workers in this challenging time in this year. And it has been a very challenging year, but with the vaccines coming out, I see some hope this year, and we should all hopefully get back to our normal life soon. And I truly believe that women power is something. We are brave, we are strong, we are empowered, and happy International Women's Day to everybody. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Rashmi Agarwal. I'm from New Jersey. I'm a healthcare worker. I'm a nurse practitioner and assistant vice president in population health. I work at Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, part of RWJ system. And I'm also part of AAINJ, which is an Indian Nurses Association of New Jersey. I'm here on an occasion for Women Empowerment Day and being awarded as a healthcare hero. Not only that it's a Women's Empowerment Day, we're looking back and recognizing the efforts which has been put together in 2020 with the pandemic. This has been a tremendous year. If we look back, the journey started somewhere this day, almost March 5th, when we saw first patient in our hospital. And now, looking back, we are looking at so much we have learned through this year. Whether it's compassion, whether it's delivery of healthcare, whether it's working together as a community and dealing through these challenges of pandemic.
नमस्कार, मैं सबीना ढिलन बोल रही हूँ. मैं एक अटर्नी हूँ बाय प्रोफेशन. आज हम यहाँ पर ब्रुकलिन बरो हॉल में आए हैं टू सेलिब्रेट इंटरनेशनल वुमेंस डे. मैं ये जो मौका हमें मिला है उसके लिए बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ उन सब हर शख्स का जिन्होंने मेरे को इस मकाम तक पहुंचाया है एज एन ऑनरी, विच इज़, ये सिर्फ मेरा ही अवार्ड नहीं है, ये सब उनके लिए है जो कितनी मुश्किलों से आपको उस मकाम पे आपको इंस्पायर करते हैं, आपको पहुंचाते हैं. और मेरा यही अभी तक यही रहेगा, जो अभी तक मेरा मकसद यही था और रहेगा कि हम जो भी एक इंसानियत के तौर पर एक दूसरे के लिए कर सकते हैं. और आजकल के हालात में जहाँ कोविड है, जहाँ लोगों ने इतना कुछ किया है, हम उस चीज़ को आगे बढ़ाते रहना चाहते हैं कि हम एक पॉजिटिव एनर्जी, पॉजिटिव एनवायरनमेंट अपने सब साथियों के लिए क्रिएट करें. सो धन्यवाद आप सबका. Thank you.
I'm Abhilasha Gupta and representing here Plainsboro Mask Squad, and we are really honored to be invited by this FIA team here. It's really so nice of them that they are recognizing our smallest service which we could give to the community during pandemic. So I represent the Mask Squad. We both started this Mask Squad and we made over 3,200 masks for frontliners, US Naval Ship, US National Guards, and nursing homes. It was a great pleasure for us to work for the community.
Yeah, I'm Satya Bareti. I'm from Plainsboro Mask Squad. So we both started the group, and then within a short time, a total 23 ladies joined the group, and total we gave 3,200 masks donated to all medical groups and all organizations.
A very good afternoon. I thank FIA for bringing us all together. I also would like to congratulate all the other awardees today. They are integral part of the women folk, an important part of the Indian American community in the US.
A very happy International Women's Day to all of you. On behalf of the Consulate General of India here in New York, I wish all of you the very best. You have been achievers in your life, and today it is our privilege to be part of this ceremony that we are honoring you, honoring your success, honoring your achievement. Happy International Women's Day to all of you once again. Thank you.
In this week's edition of This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, we take a look at post-COVID scenario in USA, as well as how Indian politics is facing some ups and downs these days. Take a look. Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and I have the pleasure of interacting with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh in This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir. Dr. Sir, welcome. Namaste. स्वागत है आपका.
नमस्कार नमस्कार.
And the way things are moving, we are out of COVID, yet we still have COVID. And how do you feel in terms of many more people got vaccinated? Are we in the safer zone? How does that look to you?
Yes, I think we are at the end of the pandemic. Since a lot of people are getting vaccinated, and as we know that almost 30% population has COVID infection in the past, and if another 40-50% gets vaccinated, then I think the community will be well protected. And so we always urge everyone to get vaccinated. All three vaccines are equally good. So do not wait. Whatever opportunity you get, you must get vaccinated. And with that vaccine, whatever is available. So I think there is a lot of hope that by summertime, I think we'll be out of pandemic, practically speaking. All the businesses will be open and economy will be booming.
So talking about booming of economy and restricted travel, which causes inconvenience for common citizens as well as from the point of view of growth of industry. Do you see that opening up in near future with all these precautions in place?
Yes, it will be open up. The travel will open up. Domestic travel definitely will open up. And of course, now they have a kind of rule that either you are vaccinated or you have negative COVID test within 72 hours. So as long as those two are strictly followed, then I think travel is definitely more safe, and it will happen, and people will travel, and business will be booming. And so I think a lot of hopes are there.
Hope is definitely very, very important and necessary. And the hope that we as Americans would place on the new Biden administration, do you see the steps that they have taken to take economy in the upward direction are satisfying so far?
Yes, because they are infusing almost $2 billion into the economy in different sectors and different programs. I'm sure that will definitely stimulate the economy, and the economy will be good. And they are also helping quite a bit to the unemployed people, and at least till end of the year or October or something. So I think they are doing great job, and I think out of all their priorities, I think two priorities should be must. One is they should ramp up and give at least 2 to 3 million vaccination per day. That way, by end of May, everyone will have vaccination. And number two, they should do all this COVID testing and hospital facilities updating, and that will really help COVID pandemic very much.
And talking about COVID-19 and vaccine and India's role in the world, India has gained a lot of respect in terms of not just being able to come up with the vaccine, but also having supplied it and expressed compassion as well as living up to the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that do you see playing some role in the relationship between India and America as we move forward?
Yes, I mean, of course, India is not helping America for vaccination purpose, but India is helping a lot of other countries, particularly the Asian countries, African countries, even European countries. And therefore, I think the role of India in the vaccination of the world is very, very, very important. And it's very commanding and very admirable. And so we really congratulate and we say kudos to our Prime Minister of having done this for the world.
Indeed. And Prime Minister has been active on several fronts. And I would begin by talking about his focus on grand celebration of 75 years of independence of India. And they already have started having high level committees working on planning and looking at the way Prime Minister Narendra Modi visualizes and makes things happen in a grand way. What are your thoughts about this idea of celebrating 75 years of independence by involving all Indians as well as Indian Americans?
Well, I think it's a great idea because any celebration like this, any milestone of the country celebration is always very good. It unites the country. It infuses the patriotic feeling in the citizen of the country, and I think it's a great idea. And you'll be pleased to know that our Parikh Halwal Media and ITV Gold is going to take leading role in the celebration of the 75th anniversary of India, particularly in the USA and Canada.
Very nice. Would you like to share some thoughts where our viewers may also participate or get involved and sort of express their feelings on this momentous occasion?
We are planning to do a lot of talk shows, a lot of seminars from the professionals, businessmen, students, women. Also, we're going to do a lot of movie related to the independence of India. We're going to have some documentaries which tells the India's independence story and to the second generation. And I think, and also we're going to tell about current India, how India is doing great, how it progresses economically and otherwise. So I think these are our plan is, and we are working with the embassy as well as consulate to coordinate all this agenda in our newspaper as well as our TV channel, ITV Gold 24/7.
Very, very good. And as you mentioned about India's growth, we have also seen that Indian women have played a very important role. And while I recollect the presence of Swati Mohan at the launch of rover Mars 2020, and there have been many leading ladies of Indian origin, even with the IMF. And so overall, based on your observation, as we begin to mark 75th year celebration, where do you see Indian women stand, and anything in particular that comes to your mind?
Well, I mean, not only Indian women, but all the Indian Americans has arrived. Let's put it that way in one sentence. We are arrived. So we have USA has to, or North America has to take notice of our arrival, our success, our accomplishment, and our being a true American. And therefore, I think, I'm sure America will appreciate all this thing, our contribution. And this shows that America is truly immigrant country. where the smart immigrants comes from the outside. Either they come or their parents came here, and they really contribute big way to the development, economy, social network of America.
And looking at some of the recent headlines related to Indian political landscape, one actor, Mithun Chakravarti, has joined BJP. And then there is another gentleman who is known as Metro Man, K. Sridharan. He has also joined BJP, and he's probably going to be projected as future CM of Kerala. Now, that kind of gives an impression that BJP is gaining strength. Do you see it that way, or these are just some exceptions?
No, I think currently BJP is definitely gaining the strength, and BJP has everything going for them because of the central government of the BJP is very strong, very progressive, and very proactive government, and that benefits always trickles down to the state level. So BJP has definite advantage, and that's why you see that a lot of known people, those who were in the before in the Congress or Trinamool Congress or different parties, they all are kind of attracted towards the BJP. We don't know their agenda, we don't know their interest or their underlying motive, but they all are going because always the winning party always has advantage of attracting a lot of people.
And similarly, the reverse seems to be true for Congress. And as we conclude, I mention one comment by Rahul Gandhi regarding his friend Jyotiradittya Scindia, that he will never become chief minister in BJP. If he wants to become chief minister, he should come to Congress. Now, that statement kind of gave me a feeling that they are not looking at the spirit of serving the nation or the community. It is more like ambitions taking the top level of consciousness while they think about leadership. How do you see this comment of?
Well, I mean, it's an unfortunate thing because it's an unfortunate comment, but unfortunately in India, the people goes into politics to make a career, which is just opposite in USA, where people already have career, have personal success, and then they go to politics. So these are two different concept or thinking of, not concept, but thinking of the politicians in India and here. So I think politics, I think hopefully will get more educated, we get more advanced in economy, and all this thing will disappear because at the end of the day, the politician should not consider politics as a career. It should be a way to serve the community, serve the people, and it's a service rather than a career.
Absolutely. And then when you are given to ambition, that takes away your focus on serving, as you rightly said. But I'm sure there are many exceptions in India also, those who are successful, and then there are politicians also.
There's always exception to the rules in everywhere, right? So
absolutely. So as we conclude, your parting words for our viewers.
Well, dear friends, I mean, it's a good news that we are coming at the end of the pandemic. Pandemic is under well control so far, right now. But make sure that you get vaccinated. All 3 vaccines are safe, equally effective, and please get vaccinated so we can end this pandemic sooner than later. God bless America. God bless India. God bless Indian American. Thank you. See you next time.
Gopio has been working tirelessly, continuously to connect Indian and Indian diaspora with India's cultural values. A virtual session was organized by Gopio. The theme was India's outreach to diaspora, and that was specially focused on youth perspective. Here is a part of that virtual session.
Welcome to all our participants and all our esteemed guests. Thank you for making the time to come today. So today we are going to experience an informative session from participants from different countries on India's outreach to the diaspora, the youth perspective. As Thomas mentioned, after the session, we will pick 2 youths from today's session, and they will speak at the webinar organized by ARSP on April 10th, 2021.
My name is 19 years old. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. I'm honored to speak in front of all of you. Growing up as an Indian American, I have always been eager to know more and more about my culture. And one way I have kept in touch with it is through Indian media. In this age of advancing technology, I believe Indian media is an effective way for India's youth diaspora country. Through music and movies, we are able to strengthen our understanding of Indian customs and language, as well as the current issues in India. We are able to get in touch with documenting problems or interesting aspects of India in order to learn more through their research. Regarding learning about Indian customs, festivals are one of these customs that are central to Indian culture and can help to educate the diaspora and make us more in touch. Since in today's age especially, virtual means of education have become the norm, I believe that things like virtual festival experiences would encourage the Indian youth diaspora to learn about and participate in Indian tradition, and as a result, feel more in touch with our home country. I would like to conclude by saying that it is inspiring to know that in our current US presidential administration, individuals from the Indian diaspora holding high executive positions, including Vice President Kamala Harris. This portrays to young Indians throughout the country that we are intelligent and persevering values and makes us vital to the growth of society worldwide. Thank you once again for the opportunity to participate on this platform.
Exploring and increasing the number of programs that can help the diaspora youth engage with study abroad programs at Indian universities in India and volunteer opportunities to serve in charitable organizations. All 3 of these initiatives would also provide them with a valuable experience useful for their future career. Ultimately, this is for youth in learning leadership, influencing foreign policy, and become members of a global Indian community for a borderless India. As these youth become young adults and follow their dreams, they will have the incentive and drive for the future of India.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is. I just want to start off say all the different perspectives these young persons who all touched upon different, even Israel and African diasporas. Myself, it's great view. So great so far to be taking a different side of diaspora and how it's affected and just sharing my perspective being Indian diaspora subject in 4 different lenses, so sharing with you all today the contributions that diaspora has brought to us, which is Indian diaspora in the United States is educated and very full population. India and their children have been of United States. Circular migration and transnational investments, a major role in bringing up pharmaceutical industries. AD diaspora profile, we actually and 25 US-based Indian groups are 20 or more have an annual reserve and another 59 had an annual reserve. Brought them USA, TIE Global, and of course the esteemed GOP are quoted amongst the most influential. And the World Policy Institute has highlighted the Indian diaspora brings. The report actually said freed of India's bureaucracy in the United States. Their example and regulations in the Indian economy of dollars and a virtual educational enhancement for the diaspora as well origin. This diaspora has been an important resource to India, not only directly from diaspora members in their role as corporate and mainstream U.S.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to, and I would like to thank some dignitaries here present here. So thank you so much. I was late. Anyways, so the topic which I like to speak up today is for the startup, because I'm involved into 2-3 startups here. So I would like to introduce that, given a good platform and to launch their startup, to get fund their startup and to get help in the sense of. So I think the youth needs today the startup help. Like suppose a lot of people are starting the companies, but not all the companies are getting successful because they are not getting crucial help at the starting point. So I think if we as a common platform, like if we as an Indian community provide something to the young entrepreneurs, so that be successful in their journey, startup journey, right? So I have some steps to design, like how can we go ahead. So I think we should need to provide access to information first of all. We should provide access to the networks, right? So and third is to provide access to business training programs so that local entrepreneurs should meet, and there should be network exchange, and maybe who knows, the great thing might start from there. Entrepreneurship, migration, and unemployment, these all are linked with so, and the diaspora has a crucial role in maintaining these things to get a proper solution, and a good implementation techniques are necessary. Also, under the leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi, India has developed a huge in the startup field, right? In the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So huge potential, and Indians outside India has also a huge potential, particularly youths, and I mean that's it. So thank you so much for the time.
You're watching Vision of Asia Voice of Community on ITV Gold. We have this Vision of Asia in Hindi on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, all these days at 8 p.m. and a special weekly segment is presented every Sunday at 11 a.m. We appreciate your continued support to our programs, and your love means a lot for ITV Gold team. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these short messages. Avinash Kalla is a journalist and an author. He visited America during presidential election, and in spite of COVID, he with 2 friends managed to cover America's election from common man's point of view in several states of America. Back in India, he came up with a book in Hindi, America 2020, Ek Bata Hua Desh. We talked to him about his experience, his journey, and his insight on America. Here are some excerpts from that conversation.
नमस्कार, मैं अशोक व्यास, और मेरे पीछे आप जो इतनी किताबें देख रहे हैं, उन किताबों को खींचने वाली जो एक शख्सियत है वो हमारे साथ जुड़ रही है अभी जयपुर से। पर पिछले दिनों भारत से अमेरिका राष्ट्रपति पद के चुनावों और कोविड के चलते हुए भी साहस करके जो यात्रा उन्होंने अमेरिका की और कितने हजारों किलोमीटर, कितने सारे राज्यों की उनकी यात्रा और कितनी सारी मुलाकातें, वो सब एक पुस्तक के रूप में आ गए हैं। और इस पुस्तक के पीछे लेखक का जो चेहरा है वो आप तक पहले पहुंचाया जाए। उसके बाद अमेरिका 2020 एक बटा हुआ देश के बारे में चर्चा करते हैं। अविनाश कल्ला जी, स्वागत है आपका तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट के साथ। नमस्कार।
नमस्कार अशोक जी।
तो बहुत ही त्वरित गति से आपने ये जो पुस्तक लिखी है उसको पढ़ने का सौभाग्य मुझे भी हुआ। उसकी चर्चा पे बाद में जाते हैं। पहले आप इस परिकल्पना के बारे में फिर से बताइए कि ये बड़ा असामान्य सा निर्णय है कि कोविड चल रहा है, लोग अपने घरों से निकल नहीं रहे हैं और आप भारत से चल के अमेरिका आ जाते हैं। तो क्या मतलब हुआ था कि ये कार्यक्रम बन गया?
अशोक जी देखिए, ये आपको शायद ऐसा लग रहा हो कि ये एक बड़ी रोचक घटना रही, पर मैं इसे ऐसा नहीं मानता। एक जर्नलिस्ट का काम होता है खबर तक पहुंचना। तो उस वक्त सितंबर अक्टूबर के महीने में पिछले साल दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी खबर थी अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति चुनाव। और तो वो आपके देश अमेरिका में हो रहे थे। फ्लाइट्स का आवागमन जारी था, मतलब पहुंचने में कोई तकलीफ नहीं हो रही थी। और जहां तक बात कोविड की करें तो कोविड हर जगह था। जयपुर जहां मैं रहता हूं वहां पे भी कोविड था और अमेरिका जहां मैं पहुंचा वहां पे भी कोविड था। तो कोविड का खतरा दोनों जगह बराबर ही था। तो ये मैंने यही बात को जब इवैल्यूएट किया अपने घर पे, मैंने और मेरी वाइफ ने, तो यही था कि खबर जो है वो अमेरिका में है और वहां तक पहुंचना चाहिए। तो
तो
बस
मैं
यही
आपके
परिकल्पना थी और मैं वहां पहुंच गया।
जी, तो मुझे बहुत खुशी इस बात की है कि आप न केवल पहुंचे बल्कि आपने बहुत सारे पाठकों को वहां तक पहुंचाया, चाहे वो भारत में रहने वाले पाठक हों या अमेरिका में रहने वाले, जहां तक वो स्वयं शायद कभी नहीं पहुंच पाते। और जब मैं ये बात कह रहा हूं तो ये रिपोर्टिंग मात्र नहीं है, ये किताब पढ़ने का सौभाग्य मुझे भी मिला है। तो इसमें कहीं एक जो साहित्यकार है अविनाश कल्ला के भीतर छुपा हुआ, वो आम लोगों से बात करते हुए जो एक हल्का-फुल्का भाव होता है वो भी छूता है। पर मुख्यतः आपने उसमें एक सूत्र पकड़ के रखा कि लोग चुनावों के बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं। तो उसको लेके आप इस निष्कर्ष तक जो पहुँचे कि एक बँटा हुआ देश, वो हम आज आज भी देख रहे हैं। प्रेज़िडेंट बाइडेन जब आ गए उसके बाद में भी इम्पीच हुआ वगैरह। पर हम आपकी यात्रा की तरफ चलते हैं, जैसे कि जब तक रिज़ल्ट आया हुआ नहीं है। और तो सबसे ज़्यादा आश्चर्य में डालने वाली प्रतिक्रिया किन से बात करते हुए आपको लगी?
अशोक जी कई रोचक किस्से आए। मुझे याद है जब मैं आपके स्टूडियो में आया था और अपनी चर्चा हुई थी चुनावों को लेके, जब भी आपने ये सवाल पूछा था कि ये यात्रा क्यों, कैसे, और तब भी मैंने कहा मुझे बिल्कुल अमेरिका अलग सा दिख रहा है। एक रोचक किस्सा था जो मैं किताब की शुरुआत में भी लिखता हूँ और किताब के एंड में भी उसका जिक्र करता हूँ। जब मेरी आपके शहर में रहने वाले मेरे एक मित्र हैं बेन वाइजनर, जो अमेरिकन काउंसिल ऑफ सिविल लिबर्टीज के डायरेक्टर हैं, जब मैं उनसे बात करता हूं तो वो मुझे कहते हैं कि आई डोंट ट्रस्ट माय फेलो अमेरिकन। तो मुझे बड़ी चौंकाने वाली बात लगी कि एक सुलझा हुआ व्यक्ति जो कि एक लॉयर है, एक बहुत बड़ी संस्था का डायरेक्टर है, वो ऐसी बात कैसे कह सकता है। और वहीं से मुझे ये एहसास आने लगा कि अमेरिका आज बहुत डिवाइडेड हो गया है। तो उन्होंने कहा मैंने पिछले चुनाव में भी जब लोगों से बात करी तो कोई भी डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के समर्थन में नहीं था, पर जब नतीजे आए तो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप चुनाव जीत गए। तो तब से मैंने अपने देशवासियों पे भरोसा करना छोड़ दिया। तो ये मेरे लिए एक बिल्कुल राइट एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ माय जर्नी बहुत ही एक शॉकिंग पॉइंट था कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है। हम अमेरिका की तरफ देखता है, पूरा दुनिया अमेरिका की तरफ देखता है जब भी अमेरिका के चुनाव होते हैं। और मैंने किताब में भी लिखा है कि व्हाट हैपेंस इन अमेरिका वो हिंदुस्तान में 3 या 4 सालों बाद अडैप्ट होके काम में आता है। तो मेरी एक जिज्ञासा थी कि किस तरह अमेरिका इलेक्शंस में इन्वॉल्व होता है, क्या प्रोसेस रहता है। मैं सिर्फ इतनी सी चीज देखने के लिए आया था कि वहां के लोग चुनाव कैसे लड़ते
तो
हैं।
ये
भारत में बैठ के जब देखते हैं तो हम चुनाव सिर्फ 5 जगहों से देखते हैं। आपका शहर न्यूयॉर्क, वॉशिंगटन डीसी, कैलिफोर्निया में सैन फ्रांसिस्को और नेवाडा में वेगस। इसके आगे का अमेरिका हमें पता ही नहीं होता।
तो अभी जो आपकी किताब है उससे जो इंडियन अमेरिकन हैं उनको भी अमेरिका के बारे में बहुत कुछ मालूमात होगी, क्योंकि आप कई छोटे-छोटे शहरों में भी गए और आपने ये भी कहा कि जैसे 1000 से भी कम की आबादी है लेकिन वो पूरी तरह विकसित है। तो जो आपकी आँख से जब पाठक देखता है अमेरिका को, तो उसके कुछ नए पहलू उसके सामने उजागर होते हैं और राजनीतिक चर्चा से परे जो मुझे लगता है एक सामाजिक और जो प्राथमिकता के साथ एक पहचान इंडियन अमेरिकन्स की एक अमेरिकी ने आप तक पहुंचाई कि वो पैसों के पीछे अधिक हैं, वो जीवन को जीने की कला भूल रहे हैं, वो वाला जो प्रसंग है थोड़ा और खुलकर हमें बताएं।
देखिए, ये प्रसंग कोई बहुत नया प्रसंग नहीं है और मैं ये ज़रूर कहूँगा आपने किताब पढ़ी है और आप भी एक भारतीय मूल के अमेरिकी हैं। तो मैंने एक ही जगह किताब में स्टैटिस्टिक्स के साथ आकलन किया है, वो जब मैं भारतीय अमेरिकियों की पोज़ीशनिंग अमेरिकन इलेक्शंस पे बताता हूँ, तब मैंने वो ज़ाहिर की कि हम 1% ऑफ द इलेक्टोरेट से भी कम हैं, बट हम एक काफ़ी क्लाउट वाले हैं और हम बहुत इसमें प्राइड फ़ील करते हैं। तो ये हमारी एक जगह की पोजीशनिंग थी, पर जो आप किस्सा बता रहे हैं वो हुआ था कोडी पे। जब हम कोडी से जा रहे थे वॉल की तरफ, माउंट रशमोर की तरफ, तो मुझे 3 बाइकर्स मिले। तीनों मिडल एज थे, वो हमें एक जगह रुकते हैं और बात करते हैं। जब इंडियंस देखते हैं तो वो कहते हैं, "तुम लोग या तो कंप्यूटर के कीबोर्ड पे काम कर सकते हो या बैंक में क्लर्क की नौकरी कर सकते हो। और तुम लोग सिर्फ पैसे बनाने के लिए आते हो, तुम्हें जीना नहीं आता।" और ये एक ऐसा जोक है जो अगर आप देखें कई अमेरिकी स्टैंड अप्स, चाहे रसल पीटर्स हो या फ्लफी हो, उन्होंने इंडियंस का किरदार कुछ ऐसा ही बताया कि इंडियंस आर हार्मलेस पीपल, दे जस्ट नो हाउ टू वर्क ऑन कीबोर्ड एंड इट इज अ हार्श रियलिटी। मैंने किताब में ये भी लिखा है कि हम हर चीज को 75 से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं। तो उस आदमी ने जो क्लियरली बोला कि आप लोग जीना नहीं जानते, कोविड है तो क्या हुआ। तो मैंने कहा एक भारतीय तो आपके सामने खड़ा है अपने 2 साथियों के साथ जो जी भी रहा है और एक्सपेरिमेंट भी कर रहा है। कहता है तुम्हारी तादाद फिर भी बहुत कम है, यहाँ जो लोग रहते हैं वो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं करते। तो मुझे ये उस वक्त सुन के अच्छा तो नहीं लगा।
Indian consulate is working not just with Indian American, taking care of their visa and passport related issues, but there are many roles significantly played by India's Consul General's office to increase trade relationship between India and America and to help entrepreneurs seek solutions to their concerns and their needs to move forward. In order to move forward and perpetuate the growth, an important MOU was signed recently at the Indian Consulate between two companies, Tricon Electric Vehicles and Bharat Electronics. Here are some excerpts from that event.
Partnership where a lot will happen in the field of batteries, in particular EV batteries. You know, as a lot that is unfolding in the digital space, in the renewable space, in the space of energy, and in that regard, there is a lot to happen in India in particular and across the world in the field of EVs, in the field of batteries. We've also recently announced a new program for production link investment into ACC batteries, and I'm very excited that this new partnership is going to take our programs in India, consumer programs, programs on the public sector side forward. So I wish this partnership the very best, and as a consulate here in New York, we are behind them, we want to support them so that they can add to our growth and prosperity in India, at the same time give a boost to India-US economic partnership and India-US technology partnership.
With our brief interaction with Triton, we are highly enthusiastic and in the sense raring to go. Basically, we have made a small start with EV batteries, and I think this would be ramped up on a very large scale. We are very enthusiastic, like our DR&D has brought out. We will put our best foot forward, and we will give our fullest cooperation, and we expect the same from our partners so that we will make India proud on the global map. Thank you.
Today's segment was regarding Triton Electric Vehicle signing an MOU to produce and manufacture our circuit boards, electronics, and also be a partner with us on assembling the battery packs. I believe that's going to be a huge achievement, not only just for India, but as well as for the US market as well. They'll be assembling the battery packs for us, as well as making the circuit boards in the quality of the defense quality, military grade quality. That's the reason we also we feel that quality is a very big component that needs to be brought into the consumer level as well for India, and we think that this is going to be a great partnership.
And I started discussion with Himanshu a few months back, and we both have got certain strength, like they are very good in research development and they have got good products, and we have got strength in scaling the manufacturing. So basically this tie-up is for scaling their manufacturing requirement, and it will be useful for even requirements in USA, other countries, as well as in India. So it is basically a win-win situation for both the team and the countries also.
I hope their partnership will soon start powering our friendship, our economic connect, our technological connect. We look forward to the batteries that Mr. Patel has been talking about, soon to be manufactured in India by BEL, and obviously there's huge, immense opportunities for both the partners to learn, earn, and grow and progress from this MOU and this partnership. Thank you.
Challenges come, and how one responds to the challenge determines the future, determines the level of achievements. That choose the challenges was the theme for another International Day of Women event organized by Indian Consulate in collaboration with GAVS. Here are some excerpts from that event.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll arise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life,
Image is based in my roots in Indian classical, hip-hop, and contemporary vocabularies. But it's ultimately my way of using multicultural movement, music, and film to tell globally relevant stories. As a female artist in an industry with enormous gender, racial, systematic inequalities, I choose to challenge. Women have the undeniable power to confront systems that don't serve everyone. And we are just beginning to acknowledge the women all over the world grabbing the reins and taking control over the
Today's theme, Choose to Challenge, is really close to my heart. I have lived the challenge of a woman climbing the corporate ladder and subsequently the challenge of women's entrepreneurship. I subsequently have dedicated time to mentoring women and later in my career sponsoring women so that they could grow in their careers. I believe that everyone has the potential to go way beyond how they perceive their potential. But until we live in a gender equal world, men and women alike must choose to challenge to help women reach their full potential. So I'm going to challenge you during this celebration to ponder the question, how are you helping to forge a gender neutral world?
So I was reading about Clara Zetkin, who was born in 1857. In 1911, as an offshoot of their socialist movement in Germany, she promoted the Women's Day, which is now celebrated on March 8th. We are of the belief that in life, you need to have intention, you need to have attention, and then attitude follows. And it is our humble effort to genuinely be one of the leading companies empowering women and really celebrating and engendering women power within GATS.
You know, when you talk of women empowerment or gender equality, I think the world has come a long, long way. There are changes sweeping across the world. You know, if you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, or before that, the Millennium Development Goals, there is a clear global compact that women empowerment is a key component of socioeconomic development today. Close to health, close to drinking water and sanitation, and other such socioeconomic attributes. The convening strength of women empowerment or women issues, the economic strength of women empowerment and such issues, the social imperatives of such issues, and how it is important today to bring all of this in a progress and development has actually got a huge global embrace. So we are very happy that women empowerment is being promoted across the world, and India, of course, is no exception. I would like to give some of the examples that I saw in the last 2-3 years, and it was a surprise for me, the kind of things that are happening in India, things that you would not see in books or you would not see people commenting as yet, because those changes are yet to be fully captured.
India is supposed to have a Mahila code, which means a fast track code for women in every state. But sadly, in Tamil Nadu, instead of having about 33, we have 5, which is an alarming rate, which is why the cases are pending, which is why women don't get justice. And a particular case has to be dragged on for almost 7 to 8 years, or even 10 years sometime, in order to get justice. And the poor woman has to keep going through the same torture and torment over and over again, coming to those courts, reliving it without being able to move on. Which is why I formulated a petition to the law minister stating that please open up the Mahila courts in every single district, and also please grant us justice within 6 months of the case, because a lawyer said that we don't need more than 2 to 3 months in order to get your evidence right in order to fight the case, which means we're just being lazy, not implementing the laws as has been written. So which is why I did the petition. Over about 5 lakh people signed it. I went to the law minister in Delhi. I spoke to them, and then in front of me, he actually issued out letters to all the chief ministers of every single state saying a Mahila court has to be opened up in every district of the country. So that is something which I'm proud that I was managed to, try and help out in.
Time to say goodbye from today's Vision of Asia, a voice of the community. But once again, we would like to thank you as well as invite you to be our friends on our Facebook page. Subscribe to ITV Gold's YouTube channel and keep writing to us events@itvgold.com. And now, as we say goodbye, once again, a reminder, COVID-19 has not gone away completely, so follow the protocol. And if you have not yet vaccinated yourself, find the way to get an appointment and get vaccinated. On that note, once again, thank you, stay well, This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.